Hi, I'm Talia.
Hi, I'm Matthew, and we are the
Critics.
Critics. So the film we're reviewing this week is called Remember, and overall, I think we were both incredibly impressed with the film and enjoyed the film a lot. But let's get cracking. I think, so a lot of the reviews we've done, and accordingly a lot of the movies that we've watched have been fantasy-based films. They've been cartoon or comic characters, or Star Wars, or the completely absurd Zoolander. And so it was just really nice to watch such a real and such a grounded movie with very real characters taking place in current day, real world.
Based on like real events.
Based on real events. And I think they did. I think they grounded it incredibly well.
It was serious, it was heavy.
Yeah, heavy is a very good word.
A dense sort of film to watch. And you couldn't help but concentrate.
Exactly, but I think that was the main thing, is that as much as it was very dense, you didn't ever feel overwhelmed by it. You were very slowly drawn into this character and into following this character's story, and you, without too much hesitation, backed him and what he was trying to do and achieve, and that was even revealed to you slowly as you grew with the character. But what I also really liked, because this is a movie about the Holocaust, is that it didn't have any flashbacks.
Yes, which is a convenient way, or sometimes a cop-out of a director trying to show us a story without much explanation.
Or a cop-out to show why characters feel particular ways and how they've been affected. And also, it wasn't a movie that needed it. It isn't a particular topic that needed it. But no, I was glad to see, because I was waiting for it the whole way through, and I was glad to see that didn't happen.
Okay, besides it being about the Holocaust, there were subtle issues. For example, the gun issue, the guns in America issue was brought in quite nicely. I thought quite subtly, where he goes in and needs directions on how to use the gun. And the guy still sells him the gun. So that also made it very real, but also scary.
I think as non-Americans, it's particularly scary.
As non-Americans, we were quite traumatized by that. But as Matthew said, it was very heavy. Everything about it was heavy. Yet you didn't feel it. He still seemed...
You appreciated the gravity of it, but it wasn't like, as much as dense is the right word, it wasn't like eating a dense cake that you're like, oh, this is painful. It had big impact.
Yes, definitely.
And accordingly was dense, but it was one character density, which is fine. It wasn't like everything that was being thrown at you was particularly dense.
No, that's true. And as Matthew mentioned, you sort of taken through the story through this character. The pacing was great. You learned the story with the character without needing flashbacks, as you said, and it wasn't rushed. Even though you knew he had a goal throughout the whole movie, it just took you through it very gently, but also every scene was necessary, I thought, in the film. Every scene had an impact on you in some way. And I think because everyone knows the story of the Holocaust, the subtle things that they said just made you think like, whoa, what actually happened to these people? What are their backstories? They brought that out quite well.
So for example, he's trying to track down the Camp Führer of Auschwitz, and he's got several people to check off the list, and as we said, we know that it's not going to be the first few. And so in terms of pacing, they didn't spend a lot of time, we got what we needed from the scenes, but they didn't drag it out, is it going to be the first one? It wasn't the first one, and they moved on.
And each of those guys that he pursued, all of them had one line, or very few lines, and you just knew their whole story straight away. That's what we mean by big impact. The use of the main character's dementia, so Zev's dementia, was very interesting, because we were sort of learning it as he remembered it, or more like he was reminding himself of his motivation the entire time. It was an interesting way to tell the story, because you were never given this full-on explanation in the beginning and then sent out with him to complete his mission. It was just gradually bits and pieces. By the time you reach the end, it just all comes to a head, and it makes total sense in a snapshot.
Yeah, and the dementia becomes even more important than you think it was initially, and it's definitely, I think, I mean, we're talking about this afterwards, it's definitely a film who very subtly and cleverly lays in character traits that then also make sense, but in a completely different way at the end. And if you were to watch it again, knowing what happens at the end,
you can sort of backtrack and realize, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then there's scenes where you're like, that interaction means so much more now.
Yes.
And you then question everything that you thought of. Having said that, incredibly good acting.
Very good acting. Even though there wasn't, I mean, it wasn't script laden, it wasn't a script heavy sort of film, but big impact once again, and it just, I don't know, they subtly delivered their characters, and I don't know, there's not many bad things we can say about the film.
No, and I think, I mean, we follow our main character story almost to the complete exclusion of everybody else, which is good for this movie. But none of the other characters let it down.
No.
We meet a lot of other characters, none of them let it down. They all do an incredibly good job. And I think also interestingly is the use of child actors in this movie. Clearly a representation of innocence in and amongst this otherwise very sinister plot that's happening, and against the backdrop of atrocities and the genocide of the Holocaust. But also even from the child actors, some incredibly good performances. Even that kid we meet on the train, like, I was like, oh, is he going to now become an integral part of the story?
But because he was fleeting.
Because he, his performance was so on par, and you only get that from child actors who are being heavily invested into continue the story.
Very suspenseful as well. I was quite stressed throughout a lot of the film. Besides the fact that the stress factor of him being an old man, and you always thinking,
and suffering with dementia.
The dementia issue, not knowing whether he's going to make it through this particularly simple situation because of his illness, that was stressful. And I immediately thought of, my own grandparents, or having to deal with your parents at, should they reach that sort of level at some stage. It was very stressful. But also the plot itself, the whole Holocaust issue, the suspense there was really built well. They built it perfectly. And to add to that, the music helped. It sort of wasn't a very serious, dramatic score, but then, I don't know, it just fitted perfectly with whatever was going on.
The suspense fitted perfectly. There were a lot of nods back to, even just in terms of sound, back to things that would remind you of the war, or would remind you of that time period. And there was like some music choices that were there. No, I think the music fitted the movie perfectly.
Yeah, definitely. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A critically perfect, almost perfect film.
Yeah. Definitely watch it.
So, are we giving
thumbs
our rating?
Yeah. So I don't think there's no contest.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
This was really great.
Yeah, we'd heard the good things going in. I didn't quite know what it was going to be about, and it exceeded my expectations.
Me as well. And as people who are fairly read up on the Holocaust,
and
it
that
was
time
right
period,
down our alley. We enjoyed it thoroughly. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. If you liked our video, please like and subscribe to our channel. Check out the links to our Facebook and Twitter in the description box below. You can find out more about what we're doing there. And we've recently added Instagram to our social media, so check us out there. I'm Talia.
I'm Matthew.
And this has been the Critics Review of Remember.
Cool.
Not bad.
Not bad.
It'll be less than 10.